Every single cycle so far in crypto has been met with just outrageous price predictions, especially around Bitcoin. And almost every single time, none of them have been realized in. Even back in 2021, the big call was $100,000 and we never hit it up until now, which is kind of crazy to think about. In this video, though, I don't want to talk too much about price predictions. I want to talk about the growing acceptance around crypto that is ultimately making the environment around digital assets and the technology behind the space extremely bullish. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And what are you guys waiting for? If you're not in that free Discord, what are you doing? Join up in the free Discord. We're almost at 10,000 members. First link down in the description below. You won't regret it. So with that, let's address a few things. So the market is definitely having a nice little, hiccup, right? We are having a nice pullback. Nothing too concerning at all to me personally, especially when we look at the 1-year chart. I mean, why are we panicking right now? There really isn't much panic at all right now on the charts. Yes, we are still seeing some nice pullbacks across the board when it comes to altcoins, but they still look very strong, especially even if you look at the monthly chart on both XRP and HBAR, which are going to be the stars of this video. I'm going to be addressing XRP and HBAR because they are two US-based crypto projects that have an immense amount of potential, especially if we're talking about incorporating Web3 technologies into traditional, sectors and industries around the world, of course, including finance. Finance has always been the big one because the financial system, as we know it, is broken. It definitely needs to have some very big fixes happening around it. A lot of people are calling for a complete restructure of it. Mainly, it's changing the plumbing, right? The plumbing of it needs to get changed. How things are moving, how things are settled. And, both Hedera and Ripple with XRP definitely stand at the forefront of this. But why are these two very bullish right now? Well, we are going to talk about it. But first, let's address the price predictions around Bitcoin. If we go over here, we have latest. Digital Chamber founder Perian Boring predicts that the stock to flow model says it's Bitcoin is going to be over $800,000 by the end of 2025. I just want to take a quick second to take a step back and just tell you guys that if that was going to be the case, this entire market would be well over $10 trillion plus in market cap. Bitcoin right now, just under $100,000. is trading at $1.9 trillion. Bitcoin will have well over $10 trillion in market cap by itself if it were to hit $800,000, which is just absurd. I don't believe that this is going to happen, obviously. But the reason why we are hearing a lot of these price predictions is because of the hype cycle, which we'll address. But first, listen closely.
We had David Towell on the other day, and he said he believes Bitcoin is going to $250,000 by the end of next year. And you say?
Maybe he's not bullish enough. The stock to flow model says it's going to be at over 800,000 by the end of next year. If Donald Trump is successful in putting forth a lot of the proposals that he's proposed to the community, the sky is the limit because.
So there you guys have it. The sky is the limit because of what Trump is doing. But what a lot of these people don't realize is Trump is not talking just about Bitcoin. I get that the whole Bitcoin hype narrative definitely is there. Even over here, we have Kathy Wood predicts Donald Trump's election could drive private company acquisitions and reaffirms her $1.5 trillion or $1.5 million dollar Bitcoin price target. So if we're thinking about the over $10 trillion market cap for Bitcoin at 800,000 was crazy. Well, let's think about what the market cap of Bitcoin would be at $1.5 million. But the thing that I want to take from this is that Kathy Wood was predicting this by 2030. I do think that what we are about to witness in 2025 is the beginning of the utility cycle, right? So 2025 is going to be that beginning phase of utility and these projects that have been kind of boring. I mean, let's just be honest here. a lot of people don't want to hear about enterprise and institutional grade adoption because you still have to wait for those types of things to be realized in because of regulations, but they're already here. Things are already starting to happen. Things are starting to move pretty quickly, but it does definitely start with a pro crypto admin. And that's why I'm actually very bullish on what Trump is doing, because so far, a lot of the things that have happened after, of course, the elections have really kind of hinted at, yeah, he is serious. He's serious about crypto. He wants to take this, extremely serious with what's happening outside of the US with, growing crypto adoption and acceptance. So it definitely makes sense. And even if we do think about this, though, a lot of these price predictions are building up on the hype cycle, which happens every single cycle. This is exactly why Bitcoin was predicted to go to $100,000 back in 2021. And even prior to that, if we go all the way back to like 2017, 2018, I think back then a lot of people were calling for around like 50K. I don't think that it was necessarily $100,000. But we were hearing quite a bit of predictions even around that time. But 2021 was very loud with the 100K price prediction, super cycle narrative. The 4-year cycle's done. And guess what? So far, the 4-year cycle has been playing to the T perfectly. So if we're thinking about this, we go over to Google Trends and we have to have something bring back the hype. We have to have something bring back the retail crowd. This is the 5-year time frame on the Bitcoin search term. And if we go all the way back to 2021, where do I think that we're actually at? Well, considering where we're at right now on this chart, the time frame, right? We're in December. The holiday season is almost here. If we go all the way back here on this Google Trend search, we could see that Bitcoin is currently right around the same exact pattern here, same exact level as well, going all the way back here to December of 2020. The same pattern has been printed, out on this chart where it is increasing in terms of Google Trend searches. It decreased because, again, we did have the December sell-off even back in 2020. And then, boom, things went absolutely parabolic and went skyrocketing because everyone was looking up Bitcoin. They were looking up crypto. Elon Musk was talking about Dogecoin on live television. So if we're thinking about that, I do think that we are about to witness the crowd come back in a big way. And I do think that we are about to watch this entire space explode to new highs. Now, on top of that, what am I really looking at when it comes to Ripple and even XRP? Ripple, XRP, and Hedera with HBAR. What am I really looking at? Well, number one, again, like I said, the price predictions are out there. You could see it. The thing that we see here is under real Donald Trump, total crypto market cap could grow to $10 trillion in 2 years. A lot of people were expecting $10 trillion in terms of total crypto market cap by the end of this cycle. I know that Brad Garlinghouse, he said 5 to 7 trillion, I believe, which is something that I have been looking at, heavily. I think that 10 trillion might just be that psychological level, similar to Bitcoin hitting 100K back in 2021. Now, this is from Standard Chartered. They did say that by, the end of 2025, we could have a price target on Bitcoin of like $200,000 and $10,000 for Ethereum. Now, I question, if these are the price predictions for Bitcoin and Ethereum, imagine what HBAR and XRP could do if we did hit those price predictions. I don't think that these ones are that crazy compared to like an $800,000 Bitcoin or even a $1.5 million Bitcoin. But I definitely do think that I would be happy with Bitcoin hitting 150K and Ethereum hitting anywhere between 7.5K to about 10K. I actually think that the 10K narrative around Ethereum, it's been floating around for a while, but I do think that it is definitely something that is probable this cycle, especially with how much money is flowing in. We also have the Ethereum ETF, so it's definitely possible. But I definitely look at XRP and HBAR, and I'm just like, I see these two becoming very big players in this space, and I just don't see how they don't have a massive run-up this cycle. And talking more so about that, right? It's all based around what Trump is doing. Everyone has been looking at Trump and saying, like, what is he doing around crypto? Well, over here we have the top 3 priorities for crypto under Trump. Rep French Hill, think of that. How powerful a dollar-backed stablecoin would be if it were under the laws of the United States in our economy. We get a dollar-backed stablecoin authorization in federal law. The world will gravitate to that. A market structure for digital assets lays out the rules of the road. what's a tokenized commodity versus what's covered by the security laws, CFTC versus SEC. We explore how tokenization of RWAs and NFTs fit in the economy generally. And this is from XRP Drops, but check this out.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You have said on our air recently that crypto is one of your top priorities for 2025. And within crypto, what are your top priorities, your top 3 priorities for the industry?
Right. Well, 2 principal ones. One is that we get a dollar-backed stablecoin authorization in federal law, that we set the rules of the road of how to have a dollar-backed stablecoin here used in America with the right auditing, the right transparency, the right security features to it, because I think the world will gravitate to that. We've already seen outside the United States the powerful use of dollar-backed stablecoins. Think about how powerful that would be if it were under the laws of the United States in our economy. Secondly is market structure for digital assets. This was, I think, a critical component. It's the source of a lot of litigation. It's a support, the lack of it is a contributor to the fact that coders are moving offshore, companies are moving projects offshore, and investment is leaving the United States. So a market structure for digital assets lays out the rules of the road. What's a tokenized commodity versus what's covered by the securities laws? It makes clear who can be a broker, who can be a custodian, how is an exchange there, how are these tokens traded, and so I think that's a really important feature. Those are the top 2 priorities. A third might be that we explore how tokenization of real-world assets and NFTs fit in the economy generally, and what's the general view about that from a federal point of view. So that's the outlook, I think, for the early 119th Congress.
And when we're thinking about this, right, Congress mixed with the pro-crypto admin taking office on January 20th. I mean, if we're thinking about the environment in the US, there's nothing really holding crypto back from being accepted, propelled forward. I really do think that the US is going to change the overall trajectory for crypto in a very large way starting in January. And I just don't see how anyone could be very bearish right now. I understand the price action definitely, but if we're looking at some of these US-based companies like Hedera, like Ripple, I do think that they are about to be very large pieces of the US economy. I really do believe that. And it simply goes back to what we are seeing outside of the US. This entire year, what have I been saying on this channel? I know that I've sounded like a broken record when I say this, but you look at what Russia is doing. You look at what China's doing. You look at what all the BRICS nations have been doing. You look at the UAE, the UK, even outside of the BRICS, right? A lot of these nations, they have been really like full on all in on crypto. They've been going all in on the technology. They want the technology to thrive in these areas. And why? Why do they? Well, think about the job opportunities. Think about the economic opportunities. Think about the technology opportunities to actually accept it and have it thrive in these nations. Like, they want to become a crypto hub. The US is no different. And I do think that with the environment that we are about to see, there is going to be a very big shift from the whole idea of the anti-crypto thesis that we've been dealing with for like the last 4 years or so, to now all in pro-crypto thesis. We need to accept it. We need to accelerate this. And I do think that that's exactly what's about to happen. We're going to accelerate the push on adoption, on acceptance. And it really does start with regulations. It starts with the whole, tax-free narrative as well that's been floating around for a lot of these US-based companies and digital assets. And I do think that XRP and HBAR are at the forefront of this. I've been, talking about these two for well over now 3+ years. And you guys are probably already aware, if you guys have been listening and watching the videos, how bullish both XRP and HBAR actually are from a utility perspective. And in the US, if the US really, listen, if Trump is very serious about the US becoming a leader in the digital asset and digital currency economy, then they would 100% be looking into adopting, utilizing, or just having a piece of HBAR and XRP for their own. And I do think that, the integration of these technologies into the global financial system it's inevitable. It really is inevitable. It's something that I have been watching for a while. It's been something that I've been predicting for a while. We're already witnessing the digital currency landscape changing in a big way to, the acceptance point. And I think that once we have regulations, we will start to see integrations of these technologies and utilization at scale as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.